Greetings, everyone. This is Payman, Rosie, host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off the last day, and I'm just like Susie was mentioning, I'm getting sad because it's the last day, but there will be more and so many more. This is not a goodbye. This is just until next time. So today, we're kicking off day 5 of the September class for the 5-day podcast D challenge, UK, Europe. We just had more people. I'm excited. And today, we have another banger. We have my good friend Mischa back. He's been one of the most sought after speakers and expert talker of all of not only the challenges that have been hosted since the start of this year, but also the academy for the past, well, he's been coming to academy class since what, a year now. So I'm super happy for that. And everybody is saying every other expert is amazing, but there's something special about Mischa. So before we get into that, I'd love to just give 30 seconds to the new person here that's visiting us. Rosie, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? What do you do? And how the hell did you find us today on the last day?
I know. I'm sorry. It was just because I wasn't sort of keeping up with all my messages. And no, I got a message from Debra.
Okay.
And yeah, and I kind of saw it in time just to step up here on the last day. I'm so sorry, but maybe maybe it'll be brilliant anyway. I'm sure it will be brilliant anyway.
Absolutely.
So,
And tell us in a brief.
and I'm sorry about just now. I had it on my mobile and my computer, and so it was like
no worries. Thank you for being. And briefly tell us, what is your business?
Okay.
What is your impact?
Okay. Well, my business is I actually it is with impact. I work with non-native speakers to help them make more impact when they're giving speeches and when they are, doing business in English.
Beautiful. Love that. That's an amazing market, amazing place to be. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome joining us there. As we said, better late than never. Before we start, before I give you the floor, Mischa, I have a very special guest here today, a dear friend and a recent alumni of the Profitable Podcast Academy for the month of August that just ended. And also he attended the 5-day challenge back in July. The one and only Mr. Marc Overton. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, thanks for the intro. And it's been a real monumental sort of six-week period, I would say, from the back end of July through to sort of where I am now with everything that you've been showing me and teaching me.
I love that. I love that. Tell us a little bit about you. What do you do? What's your impact? What's your business? And how the hell did you end up having your own profitable podcast?
Yeah, thanks. So, I mean, for those that have never heard of me, never met me before, I'm a men's health expert. I help men basically to be able to be a lot more present with their families, particularly working with fathers, so they're not checked out when they get home from highly stressed jobs and sometimes overly stressful exercise regimens and sort of dietary approaches that are not sustainable. So that's what I do. I sort of cut through the noise and help gentlemen along that path. I'm just coming out of year 1 of my own startup. I used to be contracted, and the reason that I decided to work with Payman after doing the challenge is because I saw podcasting as a way to really just put all of marketing efforts, well, initially into one box, but then you can obviously strip it and just post it out there to so many different mediums. And if I can give any advice, I'm sure anybody that's sort of as a solopreneur themselves understand how time consuming it is to try to work the social media platforms. I don't have a big social media following or anything like that, so I was literally sort of starting from scratch as I reinvented myself. So yeah, it seemed like the right thing to do when I came across the challenge. Then I went into the academy, and yeah, one thing I can say about the academy side of it is there was so much more that I wasn't expected. So everything that you would expect to learn in a kind of profitable academy when it comes to podcasting is there, in terms of taking you through literally the stepping stones to be able to launch a podcast with confidence. that it will be profitable very quickly, which is awesome, which is obviously the goal. But there's so many other sides to it, which is just you know, the network that you meet. There's so many other kind of like really intriguing, successful people that came in along the way to give some speeches and just give some really valuable insight. So just like one example of that is you can see behind me on this screen, I'm preparing for my very first webinar, which I'm launching next Wednesday the 11th. Now, this is obviously my first 60-minute webinar, 45 minutes with Q&As at the end. I'm sort of throwing it out to my LinkedIn network and various other networks and people that I know. Hopefully that is going to be the first stepping stone I do of taking real tangible action, as it were, to make money out of thin air, essentially, and, you know, just start to spread my message and help and serve as many people as I possibly can. So that's just like one example of what's come from the momentum of doing the academy. It's given me I always knew it was something I kind of wanted to work towards, but maybe the confidence or the procrastination was there, imposter syndrome, we all know about that stuff. So that's one thing I would say to consider definitely, is like, as you go through it, you know, week on week, you just build momentum. It's small steps, bite size, but by the time you've done 4 weeks and look back, you're like, wow, I've really grown, both in terms of my knowledge, how to execute, but then also in terms of just having that real confidence to really be proactive and actually, you know, take action and get going.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. It's been an absolute honor working with you. I love your passion, your energy, your drive, your gifts. And you're not, let me just make one little correction. You're not creating money out of thin air. You're actually bringing your gifts to the world in front of the right people, and then give them an opportunity to really see the value and say, yes, I'm in. In a sense, yes, you're creating money out of thin air, but you're actually providing tremendous value for that. Not only value, but impact, transformation you're providing in the lives of your audience. So I'm cheering for you, brother. I know without a doubt that your webinar next week is going to be fantabulous, smashingly good one. I'm not going to say good luck. You don't need it. I'm only going to say instead, congratulations for having aced it already in advance. So
thank you very much.
make it happen, brother. You're welcome. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Any way, shape I can help you win further. I can help you shine. I'm here for you. I'm cheering for you. I believe in you. I trust in you. But most importantly, you know who's cheering for you? And that applies to all of you. You know who's really cheering for you other than me, God, and your family? Your future clients were waiting, just waiting for you to succeed, to step up to where you're really meant to be. So this is your call, guys. Embrace your gifts and share them loud and proud around you and around the world. All of us in here. So Marc, I salute you, brother. Keep shining your light, and you do what you do best. Keep helping those fathers out there.
Thank you so much, and good luck to everybody. If I don't get to catch up with you anymore.
You're welcome. We're definitely going to bring you back in Academy, because I love what you're doing, and bring you as an expert to do a talk on health, fitness, not just for men, but also for men and women. Totally.
Yeah, totally. Everything that you know, my philosophy and approach in helping people is obviously it's for everybody. The reason that I work predominantly with men is because when I used to do one-to-one coaching, I used to seem to resonate better, or vice versa, and had success with that niche. And obviously, as you know, when it comes to marketing, as Payman's teaching you, the more you niche, the kind of more you sort of break through, I guess, the saturated market. But absolutely, the knowledge and teachings is for everybody.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Cheering for you. Go make it happen.
Cheers, Payman. Good luck.
Yes. Thank you very much. Wow. I'm buzzing. I'm getting goosebumps. Thank you. This is what I love what I'm doing. This for me is the greatest gift. As you know, for me, when I go into business, the two most beautiful rewards of business, number one, the impact I'm having in the lives of the people I work with, and two, the beautiful friendships I build in the process. The money is icing on the cake. The money is not the cake. The moment I made that change from focusing on money to helping, serving, helping my clients and my guests win, that's when things literally turned around, made a 180. So anyways, enough rambling. I'm so excited. As you can see, the floor is yours, my friend Mischa. And Mischa, give us a quick intro of who you are, what's your impact, and how are you making the world a better place around you and around the world? And why the hell you've been back to every challenge I've done since the start.
Hey, right? Amazing. First off, it's so good to be here. A few of you I've seen before.
Oh,
Marc,
by the way,
Debra,
what time is it for you now? What time is it for you?
It is 5 a.m. Technically, it's 5:18 a.m. in the morning.
Where in the world are you?
I'm in Encinitas, California, right on the coast Yeah, yes, right. Pacific Ocean is just right on the other side of here. I'll probably go for a walk on the ocean here after this is done, watch the sunrise. Uh, Super excited to be here. I
Me too,
do want to
brother.
say one thing. Quick, I have this podcast. It's called the Table Rush Talk Show, and I started it coming on 4 years ago in 2020. But I had bought my microphones to start my podcast about 8 years ago. And if you can see in the background, I've got microphones all over the place. The mic I actually bought is right there. You can't really see it. It's dark because it's 5 a.m. in Encinitas, California. But I started recording everything and interviewing people, and I did not take the leap to start the podcast until 4 years later. And that's one of the big regrets that I have in my life is that I didn't just start that podcast. Imagine if I'd have started my podcast 8 years ago instead of four. So currently my podcast is 1.5% global top podcast, which is amazing. It's super uh,
How many episodes
shiny
have you done?
object.
How many episodes have
You
you
have done about 700 episodes, 721 or something like that.
I
Something
thought I was a
crazy.
big shot with my 354, and here comes this guy that just dwarfs me. Hate you, man. Okay, I love you.
Yes.
I admire you. Go ahead.
So, yeah. So I just say that because that imposter syndrome that Marc spoke to so well, like I waited too long. Like I should have started that podcast. You know, the universe had me start it when it had me start it, but I had literally bought the gear 4 years before that. So it is time to get off the fence, take action, become that thought leader, build your business. And I would just encourage everybody to start that podcast right away. But I am on a strict time limit, so I'm going to hit start here. And here we go. Let's rock and roll. So my name is Mischa. It's Mischa Zvengitzov. It's a very Russian name, but I grew up in Wyoming, which is a whole nother story. All you UK folks, Wyoming's like in the Rocky Mountains in the middle of in the middle of America. It's cowboy land. But anyway, I help heart-centered entrepreneurs increase their authority, their impact, and their income by going on what I like to call a influence tour. And that all starts by guest speaking on podcasts. And what I'm going to show you is going to show you how to massively increase your podcast audience as well. All y'all are in here to start your podcast, which I'm going to tell you to get off the fence, start your darn podcast. And what I'm going to show you is going to help you explode your audience. In essence, it's going to help you become the thought leader you were meant to be, that you know you are. So really quick here, I want everybody to turn off their cell phones. I want you to close your Facebook screen that's over there. I want you to get your pens ready because the good stuff is going to be coming fast. I'm going to be rocking and rolling. All right.
Sir.
Go ahead.
No, I said yes, sir. I said yes, sir. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir. Good. Yes. Cell phones off, everybody. Check. All right. Yeah. Lock your kids in their room with love. Okay. So back in my previous life, I was a super successful sales guy for about 25 years. The bulk of my sales career was in home loans. I was a home loan officer for about 15 years. I funded $1.5 billion in home loans, me and the teams that I built. And that's a lot of home loans. If anybody doesn't know the home loan business, just know that's a lot of home loans. And I tell you that because in order to do that, you have to build the systems to be able to do that, to have the templates, the outreach scripts, the flyers to get the phone to ring. What do you say? When do you say it? You're building relationships, you're building your network, things like that. I used to follow people like Zig Ziglar, Brian Tracy. I'm totally dating myself. This was back in the 90s and early 2000s, right? I'll tell you something that's really funny. Now, when I say, oh, the 80s or the 90s, young people look at me and go, what's that? I'm like, 1980, 1990. Hello. Anyway, let me get back on track here. So I used to walk around. I'd walk to work downtown San Francisco, Walkman, listening to Zig Ziglar. I would have Brian Tracy on repeat on the CD player in my car. And those guys used to talk about smile, roll your shoulders back, follow up, follow up, follow up, be of service. So those were my mentors back in the day. I had this incredible mentor as well in the loan business. His name was Darren Riley. And Darren Riley told me, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. So a lot of us will look around and we'll see people and we might go, hey, looks like they had an overnight success. They got lucky. But the reality is, for the bulk of us, if that happens, it's because we are prepared. We're doing the work. We're showing up. Like Marc, we start that darn podcast. So I had burned out as well. So about 10 years ago by now, boy, the timeline is crazy. Went through a divorce. Both my parents die within a couple of weeks of each other. More failed relationships, career upheaval. I totally burn out. And I'm like, God, literally, I'm talking to God, universe, call it what you want, universal spirit. I'm like, God, I need to know that next thing to do because I'm burned out. Everything that I was good at in work is now killing me. It felt like. And, the universe was like, you need to retire and get your boys through high school, get them through get them through grade school, get them through high school as a single dad. And I was like, anything but that. My identity, I want to be successful. Universe pressed my hand. So 10 years ago, 10 years ago by now, whatever it was, walk into my boss's office and I quit. I wish I could remember his name, but I walk in and I say, hey, I quit. And he looks at me and he goes, we'll match any offer that you're getting out there. And I said, no, you don't understand. I quit. I'm retiring to get my boys through school. And he stone cold looked at me and said, Mischa, I wish I could quit too.
Wow.
And I was like, yes, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. So fast forward about 4 years ago, I reemerge into online marketing. Let's see, I want to share my screen here if I can. Where to share?
My blessings, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. I'm going to go right here. Share. Awesome. Darren Riley, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And I actually think he took that from a football coach or something like that, but it doesn't really matter. Here's my podcast. Listen Notes is a tool that I'm going to show you in a little bit. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong screen here. But Listen Notes, if you go to my podcast, you can type in Table Rush Talk Show. You will see listen score of 40 and a global rank of 1.5%. Now, I work off what is called my Influence Army guest speaking roadmap. I'm going to click on it right here. I'll show you. And basically, it's super cool. You could literally follow these steps that I'm telling you right now. So get your pen out and write them down. Find the podcast to speak on. Send them a pitch, number 2. Then start getting your stories together because it takes sometimes there's a delay between when you send the pitch and when you get on the podcast. And then you have your follow-up emails in order, et cetera, et cetera. But you're going to see some more of this thing as we move along. I live off of it. It's got live links for all the tools that I'm going to show you. But the guest speaking roadmap, if you follow the map that Payman's going to show you on how to grow your podcast, do those sorts of things, it makes it so much fun. It makes it so easy to guest speak on podcasts, and we'll be referencing it. So am I a thought leader? About a year ago or so, this is November 30th, 2023, I had been sending pitches in earnest to people to guest speak on their podcast. I had sent a podcast to Maria at the Empathy Edge podcast, and she said to me, this is the reply right here. I don't know if you can see it. It says, love your pitch, but when I went to your site, you're not a thought leader. Am I missing something? Imagine getting that email, right?
Wow.
I've made literally millions of telemarketing phone calls, dealt with a ton of rejection. And that one, I was just like, oh, am I a thought leader? I think I'm a thought leader. I know I'm a thought leader. And I didn't have a book. At this point, I didn't have that list of podcasts that I had guest spoken on. And so I was like, I know I'm a thought leader. I was having a conversation with Debra Blackman who's on this call a different day here. And she said, literally, we're all thought leaders. This is how I show you. Like all of us on this call are thought leaders. We're all old enough at this point to have enough experience to know that we're good at what we're bringing to the market. Correct? Let me see a heck yes in the chat. Like we are all thought leaders, correct? We just need to be able to document it. And so this is a great way to document our thought leadership. So I have a question for you. Yes, Debra, yes, Gifty, yes, some other people, a bunch of heck, yes. Let me adjust there we go. I was adjusting something over here. So how would your business and your professional life change if you guest spoke on 50 podcasts in 100 days? And not just any podcast, but podcasts with your perfect audience. So I had asked myself that question because I was horrified of what was next. I had reemerged into the online business space. It was time to grow my online business, but I was horrified of spending money on Facebook and social media ads. I want to get moving here because the clock's ticking, but just know that I've spent $150,000 plus learning online marketing. I've been to masterminds, hot seats, traveling, seen people failing, seen multi-million-dollar businesses collapse through the iOS change, interviewed hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs. I'm rolling with my business where I'm helping entrepreneurs get their customer video testimonials. So I had what was called my perfect video testimonial system, my 5-step system for getting your customers to gladly do your selling for you. I'm literally getting flown around the world to get people's testimonials. I'm getting flown to different states in California. I mean, in the United States, different states in the United States, but I still have this wicked imposter syndrome. Two things happen. One of my clients, Stacy, I wake up to an email from her and it says, Mischa, you are the one who moves the needle in my business. I pay all of these other people, but you're the one that drives the revenue. And I was like, oh my God, I'm adding value. It finally sunk in. I am adding value. Number two, at the exact same time, I had finally relented and said, yes, Ryan, I will talk in your small business spotlight show. He has this big audience of realtors, and he wanted me to teach his realtors my perfect video testimonial system and how to repurpose that content because realtors are starving for content. I crush it on his show. I got all this amazing feedback. And I was like, I need to go on a podcast tour. So I stumble across, I don't know if any of you know Amy Porterfield. She's awesome.
Yes.
You should all check out Amy Porterfield.
Yes.
But I stumbled across this episode that she had done on February 28th, 2023. And it said, after doing 100 podcast interviews about my new book, here's what I learned.
Wow.
Yep. And this is when that question came to me. How would my life change if I committed to guest speaking on 50 podcasts in 100 days? How would your life change? How would your business change? You could put it in the chat. Literally, 100 days from now, you've guest spoke on 50 podcasts. Like, we would be transformed. So Colin Boyd, this is another great guy to listen to. He's not a lot of people has heard of him, but he kills it. He's like, if I was to start over and start my business again, the first thing I would do is start guest speaking on podcasts. I'd dial in my message. I'd learn my audience. I'd build my business from the ground up that way. And then I would start spending money on Facebook ads. Russell Brunson, if anybody knows him, I'm in his coaching stuff. I've paid that man plenty of money. I was literally on a coaching call with him the other day, and somebody was on the hot seat and they said, I've got my offer ready. I've got all this stuff ready. What should I do? Where should I buy Facebook ads? And he says, the first thing you should do is, quote, go on a podcast tour. His Funnel Hacking Live is going on right now. First thing he said to the 10,000 people that were on there, don't start with ads, start by guest speaking. Anyway, enough about that. There's proof that I worked, me with non-gray hair back in the day. There's me and Waylon contemplating, life after divorce. I'm lucky to live fairly close to the ocean, but somebody just happened to walk by, snap a picture of me and Waylon. We were contemplating the universe. So today you're going to learn how to speak confidently without feeling salesy or spammy, what to say during podcast interviews to move listeners to take action and join your email list, how to find unlimited podcasts, all with your perfect audience. There are more than you think. And then how to get booked without cyber stalking, how how to easily get booked and on shows and speak to unlimited captive audiences without having to befriend, follow, or cyber stalk podcast hosts, send them gifts, all these things that a lot of people tell us to do. I'm not saying that's bad. There's a certain podcast that we may want to do that to, but if I had to do that with every podcast, I would never be sending out invites because I would be spending time trying to charm them. So, welcome to my podcast guest speaking framework, my 3-step system to become the go-to authority and expert in your niche without having to waste money on social media marketing or spending countless hours posting on social media again. Just in case you're tired of doing that, Marc spoke to that. He's like, I don't have an audience. I don't like hanging out on social media so much. This is a great way to do that without having to post all the time. So who is this for? Professionals, consultants, experts, heart-centered entrepreneurs who want to be that thought leader, generate traffic, leads, customer sales. You guys want to use this tool to grow your podcast that you're going to start, and this is going to help you do that. So we want to serve people at scale. We want to do it in a way that is authentic to us, doesn't feel spammy. We are moving from the heart. Alan, who is in my influence army, it's the thing that I do. He just got booked on 6 shows in 1 month. He had a person join his investor circle. He sicked his VA on this process. So if any of you have a VA or assistant or a son or a daughter or a wife or a husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, you could say, go do this for me. Get me booked on podcasts. What is the true power of podcast guest speaking? That it can change your business and your life. There are 7 ways and a bonus 8th. There is the audience clicking on your call to action. My favorite call to action, I encourage people to have only one at the end of the interview. Where can my people find you? You know where you guys can find me? You can go to guestingguide.com. Right now, you could type in guestingguide.com. You can get my free downloadable podcast guest speaking guide. So you speak at a podcast, where can my audience find you? You have your one simple free thing that you can guide them to. Or if you don't have that yet, point them to your favorite social media place or the one place that you hang out the most. Don't give them 20, don't give them 5, don't give them 2, give them 1. Okay? They will search you and find you other places on their own. I just want to show you, I give out my guesting guide, right? And here's all the opt-ins from the last few days. What's really powerful about this is that in this little red box, you can see $14 there, $14 there. I have a trial offer for my membership. What happens, about 1 out of 6 or 7 people that get my guesting guide, they end up jumping in what I do. So it's a great way to build your business that way. The host will sometimes direct recommend you to someone. Number 2, I spoke on Monica Kremendall's show. She recommends me to Payman, who, guess what? I'm here right now. Leaders with a Heart podcast. I speak on Payman's podcast. Payman joins my influence army. And Payman's in and out, shows up sometimes sporadically, but he loves my email and my inspirational content. Thank you, Payman. Go ahead, Payman.
I just want to say I've been a member of your paid influence army for a year. I was only able to attend 1 call. At one time, I was even considering canceling it. But then I attended one day. I just woke up early, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever for me. I attended the call. Just that one nugget I got that blew me away. And I said, that is worth the full year that I've been paying each month for your program. This is not a compliment. It's an observation. I'm not saying that just because you're here to be nice and polite, but I really mean it. This is incredible value. Guys, if you implement just what Mischa is showing you right here, that alone can put you on the map. Seriously.
Thank you. Number 3, the host will sometimes use your services. I'm going to crank through these. So I reached out to Alan Lomax, spoke on his real estate investing abundance podcast. He joined my influence army, and by the way, he's loving it now. Number 4, the collaboration opportunities. So we get to teach into people's groups, networking opportunities, list shares, all those things. Hence, I am speaking on Payman's challenge right now. We guest speak on podcasts. They love us. They invite us to teach to their audiences live. Alan Lomax and Troy Truen, both of those people I cold outreached to guest speak on their podcast, spoke on their podcast. I actually did not get to speak on Troy's podcast. I just did the counter and said, hey, Troy, you speak on my podcast. He said, okay. Like Marc, I'm running a monthly webinar right now. Both of them shared my webinar with their email audiences. They're like, yeah, we think you're our audience via email would love to speak on your podcast. And this is crazy to me. I wake up, check my ClickFunnels account. I've got guesting guide, 2 tags. That's a web registrant. Sorry, I'm going fast. But all those come from other people's email lists who are sharing what I do. We get to repurpose our content. Number 5. Just I go to Opus Clip. It's opus.pro. If you want to type it in, upload my interviews, it automatically slices them into content I post. I schedule the posting from there to the social media platforms. It does it automatically. I don't even need to log in. Branding. We are literally elevating our authority. We are becoming that thought leadership. There's the amazing as seen on. So here you go. Now someone says, Mischa, are you a thought leader? I'm like, click on my page, look right there. There's some of the podcasts that I've spoken on. Number 7, SEO. You will be seen as an authority as you build your lasting body of content. All in all, Facebook, social media, self-fleeting, all those posts go hide and hide and hide. They go to nowhere. As you guest speak on podcasts, you are building that search engine optimized, Google searchable long form content. That's what we want. Number 8, we will be a different person when it's all said and done. You will have confidence, a deep knowing that comes from serving at such a high level. So my guest speaking podcast framework, I'm going to get right to it. 1, what do I say? When do I say it? 2, how do you find unlimited podcasts? 3, how do you easily get on their shows? And that's what's their email and what's the pitch. So let's dive into it. What do I say? When do I say it? So on my roadmap, I've got my Get Your Stories Together worksheet. I'm going to go through this fast. I'm not even going to show it to you, but here's what I'm going to tell you. You inventory your story arcs. You've heard me speak to 4 of mine. There was 3 of them, actually. I have 4. I have the recovery years. Back in the day, I was an alcoholic addict by the time I was 17, and I got sober when I was 17 years old. I've been sober straight line ever since. And I just say that because there's lots of times when I have opportunities to tell those stories. Okay. My second story arc is the success years, right? The success, grow your family years. And I talked to that. I talked to some stories in my, Zig Ziglar, things like that. The next one is the divorce, failed relationship, death years. You heard me speak to that. And then rebirth into online marketing. So inventory your key story arcs. I've got 4. You might have 2. You might have 6, 7. Okay. Within those story arcs, you've got your stories, your impactful people stories, and your customer stories. I just told you one story is when I got sober, I got to sit in front of Judge Rank. And Judge Rank was like, hey, enough of this. You either go to jail or you get your act together. Right? He's also an impactful person story. My customer stories, I spoke to Alan. I think you get it. Lots of people in my Rick, Carissa, others have used this tool to amazing effect. It gives you amazing confidence to tell stories and when you're out and about too. And when you inventory your stories, all you need to do is put a word or a sentence. You don't need to write the whole story. How do I find unlimited podcasts with perfect audiences? My perfect podcast framework. Key thing to note here is that when I started guest speaking on podcasts, of course, I wanted to speak on Joe Rogan's podcast or Amy, whatever her name, Amy Porterfield's podcast. Those are the biggest podcasts in the world. And what I would challenge you to think is, and Ron's story challenged me. He said, Mischa, if you could have a captive audience on stage of 10 people, if you could speak live to 10 people, would you do it? Who were interested in what you do? I said, heck yes, I would. Hence, I'm here on Payman talking to the however many of you are on here, 18, 20, whatever it is. That opens up a world of podcasts for us. Heck yes, 10 people, 20 people, 50 people who are interested in what I want to do. I would speak to them. So there's so many podcasts that have a captive audience of 50 people, 100 people. If you start thinking like that and realize that, the world opens up. And the key thing is too is think of that Venn diagram intersection of where your interests and the audience interests meet. So I can teach people how to get speak on podcasts. I don't just need to speak on marketing podcasts. I could speak on coaching podcasts. I could speak on entrepreneurial podcasts. I could speak on Christian mom podcasts because there's a slice of Christian moms who are, excuse my language, hell bent on being entrepreneurs right now. Right? This is the truth of the matter. All right. How do we find these darn podcasts is the next question, I believe, on here, or that's number 2. Let's go back to this here. So you search Spotify real quick. You can search Spotify, Apple. I think Spotify is the funnest. Really quick. I'm going to keep it simple and go fast. There's my podcast. We could type in marketing. It's going to show, let me click on podcasts and shows, show all. And now you can see that there's a bunch, right? But you just keep scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. And Spotify just keeps refreshing. Apple has its top podcast list. So to Spotify, you can just go look at the top list, look at that. And Apple as well, there's a section that says you might also like. You scroll through those. Going super fast, apologize. How do we easily get on their shows to speak to the captive audiences? So what we need to do is we need to find their emails. So there's a thing called the RSS feed. Every podcast has what's called an RSS feed. You can go to a place like Podcast Addict. You can search a podcast. Let's go to Table Rush Talk Show. That's my podcast. You could also type in marketing and find shows this way. There's my podcast, the Table Rush Talk Show. You got to close the ad because, okay, let's go back to it. And you can see right down here, RSS feed. You don't need to know what an RSS feed. You just need to know that every podcast has one. 95% of them have their email embedded in the RSS feed. Bam, there's what comes up, a bunch of junk and Google gunk and all this, but my email address is hidden in there. There it is. You can see it right here. Oop. When the page reloads, it gives it to you in a nice, better, clean looking format, but there it is. iTunes email. There we go. Mischa at Beloved Media. You can now pitch me to be on my show. Sometimes people will put the email in the show notes. So that's a great way to go. Other ways, then you go to YouTube. There's places where in the info, if you can't find it there, it's on YouTube. Then you go to Facebook and look at their Facebook page. Then you go to their website and then it says contact me. So you just start with the RSS feed and go down the line. What's the pitch? Well, what are we going to send them? Okay, I'm going to cut to the chase here. We can get super fancy and I send all kinds of different pitches, but this one is the best that will get you on shows. If I'm ever wondering what to send, I send this subject line: podcast guests. So get your pen ready, write this down, take your screenshot, do what you need to do. Subject, I'm going to use me for an example. Mischa, I found your Table Rush Talk Show and you have a great show. Are you looking for an interesting guest to be on your show? If so, what are the next steps? Thanks. Simple as that. It doesn't get any easier. That little email has gotten me on more podcasts than I can shake a stick at. We get a 10% engagement rate when you send out emails, and you're going to get a yes and a no, and literally no response. If you get a no, you just make a counter offer and say, hey, reply back exactly what they said. I always go, hey, thanks for the quick response, and noted you're only interviewing women right now. However, would you like to be a guest on my show? Make a counteroffer. Whatever you have. You want to jump in my webinar, whatever you've got. So when we hear the no, we just give a counteroffer, and then if we get no response, just resend the exact same thing in 3 days. Literally send the exact same thing in 3 days. You hit reply, reply, Wanted to make sure you saw this email, cut and paste and put it in there, hit send. Are you guys getting this? Is this exciting? Do you see how easy this is? Yes, I'm seeing thumbs up. I want
Yes,
some
sir.
yeses. Good, 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 good. So I've gone 8 minutes over. I'm going to hit stop. So I've got Stacy who closed two $6,000 contracts without even really having to try really quick by following this model. Carissa, who got her stories together per my framework, jumped on a live virtual stage by doing this. She got a $30,000 business grant. I told you about Alan, who's got people joining on his list and all that stuff. So I'm not guaranteeing that this will happen for you. They did the work. Do the work. You can get it. So let's do some Q&A. And thank you for listening. I went 8 minutes over, Payman. I
No worries,
tried
man.
hard to keep it at 20.
Don't worry, I won't overcharge you. Don't worry.
Anyway,
Wow,
there you go,
guys.
guys. So questions.
Did you love it or did you love it, guys? Come on. This was amazing. This is why Mischa is always the #1 person that everybody wants to see in my what is the 5-day challenges or the academy. All right, bring on the question. Pamela, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say to Mischa, thank you so much. I mean, I was on the last challenge and, I listened to you, but hearing you a second time, they do say you need to listen to people 3 times. So I'll need to come back for the next challenge. But it was really, really useful. I've got all these notes down and I'm just going to start my podcast.
Love it. Congratulations. Yeah, get after
Beautiful.
it. Don't wait. Now's the time. Yes. How about Susie? What's up? What's your question?
Yeah, hi, Mischa. Thank you so much for that. My question is, would you be a guest on my podcast? Your story is amazing. You're living a spirited life and you'd be a fabulous guest. It's
Oh,
called
yeah.
Our Spirited Life. It's out there.
It's called, say it again. It's called
called
what?
Our Spirited Life. And I love the fact that you shared vulnerability, you shared telling your story. And as Payman knows, it's just wonderful to be able to help people through story sharing. And I would be so grateful if you'd come on.
I would love to.
One
Susie,
day.
yeah, one day. Put your contact your email in the chat and
I
I'll
will.
copy it.
Guys,
and then,
Mischa is in the
yeah.
group. Feel free to reach out to him. Don't be shy. We're all friends. So message him
Thank-
directly inside the Facebook group. His name is
Thank you.
Mischa
Yeah.
Zed,
Thank you
You're welcome.
Yes.
very much.
Rosie, go ahead,
Indeed.
my friend.
First of all, I want to say, wow, 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 brilliant. Thank you so much. Why wasn't I here the other days? Thank
I
you
wanted
so
to.
much. Brilliant. Thank you, Payman. Thank you, Mischa. Wow, this is me. I'm going now. I'm going to do this. I have 2 podcasts that I want to start. If anybody here is a non-native speaker, then reach out to me. Non-native English speaker, reach out
English
to
is
me
my
for
third
that.
or fourth language, so I think I
Great.
qualify.
You're brilliant. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
And one other thing is, if anybody is adopted or has ever adopted anyone, because I have just published a book telling a story of adoption. So if anybody is involved with that, they've either adopted, they're going to be adopted, they're going to adopt.
Amazing. Hey,
they
quick.
are adopted, whatever.
Rosie, I want to be cognizant of time, so let's jump to Kwesi. I'm sorry to cut you off. I appreciate
I want
it
you in
so
my
much.
podcast, Rosie. I'll
That's
reach out
fine,
to
I
you.
said
Reach
it.
out to me, Rosie. Okay, I want you on my podcast.
I will.
All right. What's your question?
Hey, Mischa,
Kwesi.
great presentation, super inspiring. Payman, how you doing, brother? Thank you for
Thank
this this challenge. My question is, could you speak for 30 seconds on your personal transformation after becoming a podcaster?
Oh my gosh. The fact that Payman says, hey, here's the transformation in a nutshell. I used to get emails from people and people reaching out to me saying, Mischa, I want you to speak on my podcast. And I wouldn't respond
Oh, wow.
because I didn't know what to say. I was not confident, things like that. Now, heck yes, Payman's like, speak on my 5-day challenge, be there in a heartbeat. 5 a.m., I'm ready to rock and roll. Starting my podcast totally has given me the confidence to speak in public anytime, any place, jump on a camera. I am ready to rock and roll. Does that make sense, Kwesi? Like, it's just
100%.
unbelievable.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Come on,
All right,
bring
just
it,
gonna-
guys.
Oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
just very, very quickly, just to let everybody know. Oh my goodness, Mischa, you're changing my world. It is absolutely fantastic. This whole power of being on other people's podcasts is revelatory. It just elevates your status, it elevates your standing. You get to a whole new wide audience. And also because of this, yesterday I had a 4-hour meeting with the CEO of a wonderful radio station, and we are now in the depths of discussion for me to have a radio show that's going to be broadcast throughout Lancashire. So it absolutely works 100%. Thank you, Mischa.
Well
You're an
done. Well done.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Deborah. Noreen, what's happening?
Well, I just want to say, Payman invited me on his podcast a few weeks ago. We were chatting, and I have reached out to people to ask them, could I be on their podcast? So I have done one of my podcasts because Payman has actually given me the confidence to speak. And I reached out to somebody and said, could I be on your podcast? So I have published my first podcast with somebody, but also I love the training during the week because I have a group of women where I teach connection, and we're on our spiritual journey. And I invited that person in who put me on the podcast to speak, just like Payman is doing. And this is where I love, it's the connection. It's about the win-win. Everybody wins. And when I let that go, we had an amazing training the other day. And that was from just listening to Payman and his teaching, and everybody here in the group. I just felt so, I just felt I was serving, and it was win-win all the time. So I'm very grateful for the group, and thank you all. Thank you. It's been amazing
It's all
journey.
mine. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here, Noreen. Love your story. Absolutely. Thank you.
Cool. 30 seconds or less. Anybody left? David, Arthur, Caroline, anybody? Questions? You're like, man, I wish I would ask. You know that when I drop off, you're going to be like, I should have asked.
As the pastor would say, my good friend Jay from yesterday, speak now, hold your peace forever.
I just want to add my voice to the thanks to you, Mischa. Fantastic. And yeah, I just posted, there's this thing called Podmatch, which I don't know if you've heard of it, but I think it's another platform for doing that. But I hadn't really explored this, and you made it so easy to do. And I love your story. And I'd echo, I'd love you to come on my podcast when it's up and running as well, because I talk about inner peace, and it sounds like you went through your own turmoil to get there as well. So it'd be great to have you on.
Indeed, I'd be honored, and I will we'll connect via the Facebook group, and we'll make it happen. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
just
appreciate
want to
that.
say thank you. It was just inspiring and so informative and just brilliant. Thank you. Really good.
Indeed. Mischa, I should be charging you, man. See?
And also, Gifty here, I'm grateful. I've been on your podcast and your challenge once, and learning all the time. Feel stirred up. Thank you so much, Mischa.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to turn it back over to Payman.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for letting me run a little bit late, and love you guys. It's a ton of fun, and get your podcast going, and let's change the world, really, because that's what we're going to do, right?
Absolutely. Listen, love you, Mischa. Thank you. You're amazing. We definitely need to co-create magic together. You're definitely going to be back for the next challenge, whether you want it or not. You know? And in the academy. So thank you, brother. Thank you for waking up at such an early time, 5 o'clock. So you must have woken up at like 4:30, I guess. So
4:15. 4:15.
Holy. Now you've earned the right to go for a walk on the beach and just sleep again if you want to.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Reach out
Cheers,
to
guys.
Mischa. He's amazing. And get on his podcast or invite him on yours once you have your profile podcast.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
Yes. So thank you, Mischa. See you next time, my
Cool,
brother.
guys. Yep.
Take care.
Bye.
Wow. So guys, how did you like Mischa's? Was it amazing or was it fantabulous? It was amazing. It was fantabulous. Awesome. I'm glowing. Seriously, guys, even though it's the last day of our challenge together, I don't want this to be over But you know, we're gonna be having another one soon in the next month. So, anyways, but before we move to my teaching, we have a couple of very special guests here. 1, 2, 3. First and foremost, Gifty, the lady with the most amazing, warmest smile and the most beautiful name ever. As soon as I saw your name, I fell in love with your name. I said, when God blesses me with a daughter, I may name her a Gifty. I love this name. So thank you. You're one of the dearest friend I've met through the podcast. You did a challenge, and now you just recently graduated from the academy. Just would love to hear your thoughts about the academy.
Oh, right. Hi. Hi, everyone. This is
Hello.
Gifty. My podcast is Intentional Beacon, as you hear the beacon, and it's dedicated to shining light on how one can be intentional and authentic in their professional and personal lives. I don't have a business yet, but my key passion is to support healthcare professionals like myself to actually have a voice and also maximize their capacity to excel in their careers and also thrive through work-life challenges. And you all know in the UK, healthcare practitioners there is a huge shortage due to people leaving the profession prematurely. And also, unfortunately, some have passed on. It is the NHS is in a dire need of professionals. And I felt the need to, I have worked in NHS for over 30 years, and I felt the need to use this podcast to empower professionals to how do I put it, to be intentional, to enjoy the work that they've signed up for, because we all sign up for certain, we are passionate about the work we do, but unfortunately there are some obstacles and challenges. And if one is not adequately prepared in terms of their belief system, emotions, and their attitude, and how they can articulate their concerns and their struggles to their colleagues and their senior people, it can break them rather than build them up and to give their best. And you all know the saying, you can't pour anything out of empty cups. So my mission is to, in terms of podcasts, to invite professionals, leaders, and change makers to actually share their unique stories to empower listeners.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I love your purpose. I love your mission. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. We also have a couple of other alumni here. Hamish, brother, thank you for being here, my friend.
Hi, Payman. Thanks for being patient to wait for me to get off a podcast to be with you guys today.
No worries. Thank you.
I loved this that you did for us, the challenge. It was an absolute no-brainer to join your community, and I loved it. You know, I did have a podcast already set up. You helped me nail my niche very much, which is brilliant. You know, it's having a podcast is great. Having a purpose with it is great. You sort of helped me plan it. You know, I now know I want. You know, mine is all about overcoming addiction. So I want to talk to the person who's struggling. I want to talk to their spouses. I want to talk to their business partners. So working with you, you gave me an idea to look at what I need, not just another person's story of overcoming. Nothing wrong with that. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Every day I could do that. But having a purpose for it and then generating, you know, I'm going to talk to people. I can make a business from that. You know, I'm now focused down on this is how I'm helping, this is why. And just the knowledge and the information, far too much information, not enough time. You know, it has helped me get there. It does require a lot of work. You know, you're not going to do it in 1 hour a day, so don't expect you can do it in an hour a day. But that's fine. You know, you can come back again. You know, I'm going to be back for the next one. So yeah, brilliant. Well worth it. my confidence has just done that. I'm loving it.
Thank you, Hamish. It's been an
Yeah.
honor having you. But one thing I want to say about yourself that you haven't mentioned, you're not a newbie. You're a veteran in the world of broadcasting, right?
Yeah, I have been doing it for quite a while.
So if someone like you has been able to learn from it, then that was for me an incredible gift. So thank you. And I learned a lot from you as well. So thank you, my friend. Thank you. You're very welcome for the next class in about 10 days from now. So you're welcome. All right, cool. Now, Maya, the one and only, give us your brief. She also graduated recently. It was amazing working with you, incredibly multi-talented woman. And just would love to hear your feedback about your experience.
You know, it's when you called me this morning and said, could I pop on? I actually, to be here, Payman, I actually cancelled another appointment because I really wanted to be here for you and everyone in the room. So that's the first thing I'm going to say.
Thank you.
That I think speaks volumes, doesn't it? So to cancel an appointment and show up for somebody because I had such an extraordinary experience. So I'm going to try and keep this tight. So my story has been 2.5 years of catastrophic health chaos. And about 6-7 weeks ago, things started to turn around in a way that was incredibly surprising. And I actually, Hamish is a best friend and a former business partner in my world. And he introduced me to Payman. And I was saying to him the week before, I'm so out of touch with my work vibe. I'm so out of touch with my routine. I need something that's going to kind of pull me forward towards my dreams that I've lost. And then what happens? Payman shows up and Debra shows up. Okay. So I come on the 5-day challenge and I couldn't make it. I wasn't well enough the first 4 days. I showed up on day 5, had a conversation, and then get into the academy. And one of the conversations was in the academy was, what's your zone of genius? And then Payman said, well, what is it that kind of hurts you the most? And everyone that was there will know, I burst into tears because I have a really deep understanding of how to help people overcome sudden loss, suicides, and things when people's lives explode. And it just hit me, right? So that's the first thing, is I got in touch with something in myself through the academy. Number 2, there is such a lot to learn and such a lot to participate in that you can't not show up and you can't not participate. And it literally, it sucks you in and gives you a skill base and continues to motivate you, even though some days it was a bit overwhelming because there was so much to keep up with. But it's brought me forward. And I'm going to say right now, I'm finally, having gone through 2 or 3 iterations of going over week 1 2 or 3 times, I now understand what part of me wants to share and wants to contribute to the world. That's so critical in doing any project. Secondly, even more than I was talking to people about guest podcast, being a guest, I have reached out in networks. And the other day, I actually asked somebody who was going to podcast interview me if we could not do it and we could have a deeper conversation in that time slot. What came out of that, Payman, is an opportunity for me to launch my first product in 2 years, because she wants me to do a series of podcasts for her group. I was talking to Hamish Barrett this morning, which allows me to absolutely showcase what I can bring to people's table and allows her group to benefit completely from her interest in me and my interest in them. And that for me is like, well, now I know the direction I'm taking from a guesting perspective, from a product perspective, from a launching a product, getting clients and customers from that, supporting people and growing my own podcast. So there you go, in a nutshell. And that comes from my participation with all of you guys. And my heart is just like, wow, thank you so much.
Thank you, Maya. You've been an absolute gift. I love all the gifts you've been blessed with, and you're a gift that doesn't stop giving, just like Gifty. So all of you guys, absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Last but not least, the one that is the main reason we all eat together. Credit must go with credit's due. The one and only Mary Poppins, Debra Blackman.
Oh, thank you, Payman. I'm blushing, everybody. Oh my gosh, I think you're going to cry. Oh, I am crying. Woo, woo. Yeah. Anyway, it's a wonderful day to see day 5, and everybody's come on such an amazing journey. And well done to you all, because there's been comfort zones which have expanded. There's been insights into our lives and our situations that I'm sure have triggered feelings of anxiety maybe, and joy and anticipation. So well done to everybody for being here and being such the most amazingly wonderful group of people. I consider you all my wonderful friends, and it's just a privilege to be with you all. My journey, abuse and trauma survivor from childhood. Invisibility was my mechanism to keep myself safe. And that doesn't bode well when you want to have a voice to go out and tell the world that you have a purpose and that you can help people. So I was on Payman's podcast for about 7 episodes. And during that time, I discovered my voice, and now you can't shut me up, as Payman will tell you. And on that 7th episode, 7 is obviously a wonderful number, he asked me, have you ever thought about having your own podcast? And you know what? The little me before would have gone, oh my goodness, that would be no, 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 no. And you know what? I said, that sounds really interesting. So if anybody's thinking that this is natural to me, I have to say I am very much at the beginning of my journey. Payman has helped me overcome so much in my life, in my business, just by being this wonderful support. And if anybody's on the fence about joining the Academy, I would just say one thing: go do it, because it is so transformative. And you can see I'm welling up. I want to give you all everything that I am getting from this amazing opportunity, because these don't happen twice in a lifetime. So please, if you're thinking about it, do it. It will absolutely propel you on every element of your journey. Thank you.
Debra, you're making me emotional. Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. I wish there was an emoji for a hug or a virtual hug. I would give you one. We'll all give you one. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. This is what I mean when I say speak from the heart. This was really spoken from the heart. So thank you, Debra. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very well said. And I'm honored. I'm grateful that the universe, the stars connected us through John Donnelly at the start of this year. And I can say publicly that you've been one of the most influential people I've met this year. Impactful people. You opened up a new world to me. New amazing friends in the UK. So thank you for that. Always, I want to say this publicly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll always be forever grateful. And I'm so happy that we've been connected and we are going to be doing a lot of good things together. We're going to co-create magic together. And plus, I guess one of the reasons that we get along so well is because we're both Libras. So, that helps a lot, All right, awesome. Thank you, thank you. You guys, all right. I still have my talk to do. I haven't done my teaching yet. So if you guys want to take 1 minute break just to recharge, and then I'll start doing my teaching. Refilling your cups, whatever, going for the pit stop, 1 minute, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, because the best is yet to come. Okay, let's go. All right.
Payman, I forgot to say that the connection is for life.
Oh, absolutely. We're connected for
we
life, whether you
need
like
to
it or not.
reinforce that.
Whether you like it or not, you know,
Yeah,
we're connected
I
for life.
put it. I know I went over. I'm so. Well, I'm going
No
to
worries, no
start
worries.
seriously. All
Absolutely,
is well.
absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
I've got an appointment with you. I think Monday. So
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Yes. And I also
I
saw
think
I have a call also with you, David, on Monday.
okay.
And yeah, looking forward to it. That's one thing also I want to say, everybody, book a time with me this week. All of you guys book a time with me so we can have
I
a
have to
chat
do more.
and brainstorm and see how we can implement this for you. Even Dave would love to get on a call with you to get to know you better and see how we can implement this together. And
Lovely. Thank you.
yes, I'll share my Calendly here. So please, wait, let me just open it.
I've got to catch up on the Wednesday and Thursday sessions because I was in
Yes.
London, didn't get back to late, but I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yes, do it over the
Thank you.
weekend. I will tag you in the Facebook group with a post that contains all of those replays. So make sure
Thank
to
you.
watch. Very welcome. Make sure you watch them, and then would love to get on a call with you early next week.
Yeah, sure. Lovely. Thank you for that.
Very welcome. Let me find my calendar. I have so many tabs here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Nope, not this
Is
one.
this Susie? Susie, you got your.
Okay, I'm gonna get settled here to do my talk here soon. My talk is gonna be very powerful today because this is gonna be putting it all together. Let me find my Calendly. Okay, perfect. Right here. Here's my Calendly. Please save it. Book a time with me. I'm gonna be traveling next Thursday, but Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday would be best. If you can book a time with me, that would be fantabulous. And let's get going. All right, so Noreen, you're back, so we can start. So I can start. I guess let's me start sharing my screen. Okay, this is not the right screen. Okay, D5. Yep. Perfect. Is this D5? Let me make sure I'm. Do you guys see my screen? Okay, cool. Let me just go in full screen mode. All right, so today, well, the menu for today, in a nutshell, we just had Mischa's amazing talk. Now I'm gonna talk to you about where does your, as I mentioned to you before, everything builds from the previous days. The first step we did was identifying your zone of genius, then identifying your ideal avatar, and then we took that and we built your irresistible offer. And now we're gonna see where is your ideal listener, client, and prospects hanging out the most. And then we're gonna be simply mapping out your first 10, 20, 100, or even a billion episodes moving forward. And then putting them all together and showing you the path, the proven blueprint path to get leads on demand and clients organically from the get-go. All right. So the agenda, I'm just going to go fly through it. So first of all, any questions about anything we did yesterday, day 4? Any questions? Let me check the chat. Absolutely, Gifty. Connection is for life. Amazing. Yes, love that. Cool. Thank you, Quizzy. Looking forward to our talk, brother. All right. Any question, guys, about yesterday before we move on? Once, twice. All right, let's move on. So we just did that. So now that we've identified your zone of genius, identified your avatar, and then built your, created your irresistible offer, the next step is identifying where does your ideal audience hang out the most. For some of you, it's going to be on LinkedIn. For some of you on Facebook. For some of you on Instagram, and so on and so forth, depending on your niche, depending on what is the pain point you're solving and for who. For me, so far, I would say up to the start of this year, 100% of my client have come through Facebook groups. So do not sleep on Facebook groups. Facebook groups are an absolute gold mine if done the right way. Now I'm getting also into LinkedIn because I do understand the power of LinkedIn. So again, find out what is the pain point that you're addressing, which we did a couple of days ago. And then based on that, look at your avatar, your ideal, we built your irresistible offer, and now it should be a logical conclusion as to where is your ideal client and prospect hanging out the most. For some of you, again, it's going to be Facebook. For some of you, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. Once you've done that, then we simply reach out and invite. Basically, what we do in a nutshell, we're interviewing our prospects because we want to use a podcast to get our foot in the door, to have heart-to-heart conversation, to build that trust, that rapport that's going to open up the doors to collaborating, to doing business, is going to open up wallets. So, but before you actually go out and invite those prospects, I highly recommend you build what I call first your foundational 10, 15 episodes. And that is reach out to people you know, whether it's current or past client of yours, or even people from this group. Just invite each other. Hey, let me interview on my podcast. That's going to do 2 amazing things. First of all, it's going to be your on-the-job training. So you will learn the process, what it's like to interview, to identify, to invite, to interview, to set up everything, to edit, to upload, to record, to promote, all that stuff. That's basically on-the-job training. That's the first step it's going to do for you. The second one, even more powerful, is going to be your portfolio, so to speak. Whenever you're going to start reaching out to your ideal audience, ideal prospect to interview them, the first thing they will do, and that's human nature, they want to check you out. Oh, let me check his or her podcast. If they see you have less than 10 episodes, not interested. But if they see you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and beyond, absolutely. Because again, it's going to show that you're serious, you're committed. And just because nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. So highly recommend before you actually go live, before you publish your podcast, before you start inviting your prospect, people you don't know yet onto your podcast, highly recommend you build your first foundational 10, 15, or if you really want to have a solid foundation, 20 episodes before publishing and launching your podcast. That is very important. Again, start first with people that you already know. They can be your current, existing, or past clients, or it can be just people from this group. Plenty enough here to interview each other. That's going to be, as I said, your on-the-job training, and also build your portfolio, your foundational 10, 15 episodes. Then once we've done that, we simply reach out to them and invite them to come onto your show to interview them. Remember the powerful quote I shared with you a couple of days ago? Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase someone. Instead, invite them. And that applies to anything, not just business, even for your friends, your neighbor, your kids, your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, your parents, with anything. This is powerful. Memorize this quote, guys. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite them. Because if you were to, let's say you just did a work with a client and you say, hey, Mary, hey, John, could you please do me a favor and send me a quick testimonial? Sure, they will do it. but you'll have to ask them a couple of times. You'll be chasing. It's not a good place when you're chasing someone. Instead, when you say, hey, Mary, John, it was awesome working with you. I'm excited. I just launched my podcast and I would love for you to come be one of my first guests. They will say, absolutely. Just let me know when. They will be the one chasing you. You're turning the table. Do you see that? How that makes sense, guys? All right, cool. Now let's recap what I've covered so far and what we've went through this week. So on day one, we looked at how podcasting totally transformed my life, and I went over some of the misconceptions and myths about podcasting. On day two, I shared with you the benefits of podcasting, both for you personally and your business, and how podcasting is so phenomenally powerful when done the right way. On day three, that's when we really got into the meat and potato, and that is when we started to brainstorming to identify your true zone of genius. And that is essential aspect, central principle of not only your podcast, but your business, your zone of genius, your true gift. And then from that, by default, by a logical conclusion, we arrived to your avatar. And then I also shared with you my proven blueprint on how to launch your podcast in 3 easy steps. Day 4, we took your zone of genius and we started crafting your irresistible offer for your avatar based on your zone of genius. And today we just look at how you can get on a podcast tour to really put your business and your podcast on the map, and how to grow your podcast, as I mentioned, and how to really map out your podcast for your guests of your podcast. Do you see how everything now falls into place and everything builds upon the previous day, guys? And now this is so powerful when done the right way. Let me see if there's, okay, perfect. As I mentioned before, the number one reason why most coaches, entrepreneurs, authors, professionals online struggle to get any leads, let alone any clients or any traction with any consistency, is because they lack clarity. And do you know what happens when you lack clarity? Your message doesn't connect with anyone. When your message doesn't connect with anyone, you're not getting any leads, no revenue, no money, no business. And we have no business. You're facing the real possibility and threat of shutting down your business and looking for a soul-crushing job. And nobody wants that. So as I mentioned to you, the name of the game is clarity. We talked yesterday about what is the cost of not having clarity in your business. And we had some really interesting figures. So again, the cost of not having clarity can really be detrimental to your business and to your life, because that's going to prevent you from stepping up, from living your life the way you want, and building a business that is not only profitable, but also impactful, purposeful. And this is what we all want. We want to have impact and purpose. So now let's take a look at each and every single one of us in here. Raise your hand if you're struggling to get leads, any leads, let alone any clients consistently, because your messaging is currently not clear or not laser focused. Raise your hand. I want to hear some people. Anyone? Dave, is that something that you're struggling with?
Yeah, not with regard to, David. Oh, sorry, you meant Dave, not David. Sorry. Okay, no worries. You carry on, Dave.
I wouldn't say I necessarily struggle with getting leads, but it's getting the right quality of leads that would be better. And I think by doing podcasts, obviously provides your voice of authority, which will therefore lead to those better quality leads.
Absolutely. Just as I've been mentioning, I just outlined the path. Once you have the clarity, you'll be able to get your message in front of the right people. Just the way I've been showing it. Go ahead, David.
And I've struggled in the last 8-9 months with, probably because you have confidence in your own ability, and my ability and my core competences are in a number of different areas. So therefore, because you pride yourself on that, you tend to try and become a generalist. And I'm learning now that even if I have all these skills, whether it's in finance, logistics, marketing, sales, people management, all those things, that you've got to narrow all of that down. In order to get all of those skills across, you've got to narrow it down into one specific area. And I've had some interesting chats with Debra, and I think, I've learned this week, I've just, written it down again in terms of, having clarity in the message. And I think that's important. I'm going to, certainly from a podcast point of view, concentrate on one specific area. So I've learned this week about the clarity of message. Yeah.
Absolutely. 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 Very powerful. Thank you. Awesome. Now, could you relate with any of these guys? I want to hear some people. First of all, struggling to get any warm, qualified, quality, responsive leads for your business consistently, wondering where your next client is coming from, tired of not being seen and getting any visibility in a crowded red ocean market, tired of charging so low that you're always struggling to make ends meet, tired of attracting the prospect with saying that anything over $100, £100 is too expensive and asking you for a payment plan. I actually had people ask me when I was first starting on a $500 offer, they were asking me for a payment plan on a $500 offer. And I realized that's not a way to build a business. And most importantly, tired of not having a reliable system where you can get your exact ideal avatar leads on demand and consequently getting high ticket clients organically without spamming, and even if you have no audience to start with. Any one of you can relate with any of that? You want to say something, David? Go ahead.
No, I relate with that entirely. That's, just what I've said
Good.
about the last point. You absolutely relate with that. And again, I think all of that is actually, again, down to clarity of offer. I think both all the time, you've got to have a real clarity and you've got to believe in yourself. And, I've learned this week from, the pitch yesterday and today, never undersell yourself. Never, ever undersell yourself. If you've got a talent that the world wants, you've, charge for it in the nicest possible way. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if you answered yes to any of these, whether you're a coach, author, speaker, and you have a high ticket offer of at least $1,000, pounds, or euros, and you're looking to really get the visibility you're looking for to build your authority and be seen as the authority, the expert and leader in your field, industry, niche, and you really want to connect heart to heart with the exact ideal audience, then, and also in the process, finding your voice, amplifying your impact, sharing your gifts, and having tremendous doors and opportunities open up for you. Just like for me, podcasting allowed me to become visible, to become a 4-time #1 international bestselling author, a TED Talk speaker, so many incredible opportunities now, having a thriving international academy, and so on and so forth. This is what podcasting can do for you when you do it the right way, profitable podcasting. And as I mentioned earlier, having a crystal clear, laser focused clarity is a must for your business, because the more clarity you have, the more clear is your message, the more magnetic your offer is going to be. And when the more magnetic it is, it's going to speak not only to the head and heart, but straight to the soul of the person that then really needs your offer, your services, your help, your expertise, your gifts. Here's some other tremendous benefits of having a laser-focused clarity in your messaging and your offer. You attract a much higher caliber of prospects and clients, because a laser-focused message and offer attract people who know exactly what they want and are willing and able to pay you accordingly. Because for someone to be, if they know exactly what they want, then chances are they will be successful. When was the last time you met someone who was not successful and knew exactly what they wanted? Never. I don't recall anyone. So again, when you have extreme clarity yourself as what is your gift, what is the pain point you're solving, and for who, then you're going to be able to attract that person like magnetically. And guess what? That person is going to be a person that only knows what they need, where they need help, and they will be in a position to really value your time, your knowledge, your expertise, your experience, and be able and ready to pay you accordingly to what you really want to charge and can command to charge. Because these people have the knowledge, the discipline, and the disposable income to do so. And as I mentioned earlier and before, many times, your very best clients will be your podcast listeners, because they have that connection and rapport and trust with you. As I mentioned earlier, up to last year, 100% of my clients came from a podcast. And that is no fluke. That is no random. It's for a reason, because again, they build that rapport with me. So now, as I mentioned before, how can having your own profitable podcast be a game changer for you, your business, and your life? As I mentioned, it's going to give you that visibility that you need. It's going to build and boost your authority, open up so many opportunities for you, get leads on demand, attract your ideal high-ticket clients effortlessly, and make the kind of money that you know you deserve to make. So you can grow your business, find your voice, amplify your impact in the process, and ultimately elevate you and position you as the authority expert and leader in your niche, in your field, so you can really be seen and respected as a thought leader, as a really mover and shaker in your business, in your area. So as you can see, launching your very own profitable podcast is the answer and next logical step in getting the laser focus, crystal clarity that you need to bring your gifts into the world and take your business to the next level. Whether you do have an offer right now or not, whether you do have a business or not, this can give you the clarity you need to identify your zone of genius, so we can build together a profitable, purposeful, and heart-centered business around it. And again, the math is simple. Math don't lie. Numbers are the language of the universe. If you do one podcast episode a week with the exact ideal audience, you should be able to get one client a month to your podcast. Again, provided your offer is on point and you invite the right people into your podcast. And this is something I'm going to show you again how to do that. Now, if you go all in and you do one podcast episode a day, Monday to Friday, which is not really hard because it's going to take about an hour a day, then you should be able to get one paying client a week. And within not long, maybe 2 or 3 once you get really the hang of it. So let's share some of your offers. What's your offer? How much is it? And how much you want to charge? Let's hear a few people here. Who wants to go? Let me check the chat. How many people we have here?
Shall I go? I don't mind going because it's a bit of a question now.
Please go ahead.
My one-to-one, when I built my online Mastering Mental Toughness automated online course, will be, well, £1,777 for the individuals.
I love the numbers.
Well, 777 is an angel number,
Yes.
and I wanted to keep it down below. So, but Jay, on his masterclass yesterday, he said, after listening to what I do, he said, I should be doing half day one-to-ones at $10,000 per client. It's like, okay.
Absolutely. Again, you're going to be able to charge this kind of money once your business is really about impact. Remember what I've been saying all the time? Make your business don't make it transactional, make it transformational. Yes.
That's the idea. So I suppose it's I don't believe I have money blocks. And I think that's one of the things that being in this group and being able to listen to some people who've been through that made it, we can all do this, and including me. And I think that's the thing to sort of accept and embrace, and just JFDI actually. So 1,777, I was going to launch with a summit of 20 speakers and launch the course at half price. Don't know if that's the right idea.
Absolutely. This is exactly one of the methods that I share. It's on week 4 of the academy, which I call Money Week. And I'm going to go give it an overview on that in a moment. Yes, absolutely. Anyone else wants to share their offer? I love that number. Plus number 17 is magic because guess what? That's my birthday. So that's why I love it. Awesome. Anyone else want to share their offer and how much it is and how much they would love to, and they're planning to charge? Let me see who's here. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I've just listened to Susie and I understand exactly what she said, and I wasn't privy to the masterclass, unfortunately, yesterday afternoon. But But I'm going to have to work on mine because I haven't launched it yet, and so this week has been invaluable, particularly the last couple of days, invaluable in terms of understanding how to pitch. And I understand exactly what you mean. You've got to make it transformational, and then you can charge what you want. I mean, if Susie had have said that on Monday at 1:10, I would have actually laughed and said, well, you're never going to get that in the UK for whatever. But now I actually genuinely believe it. And that's, through being through this process this week. And Susie, that's not aimed at you, by the way. That's, aimed at our own beliefs that have come through the education process. And that's what it's been this week, Payman. So thank you very much for that. So I will be putting I did a consultancy job for over 12 months where I charged myself out of £1,500 a day, which is a lot of money for the north of England, because there are a lot of people trying to do consultancy who are charging themselves out at £250 a day. So, when times are good, that's great. But I genuinely believe I've learned so much this week about making it transformational and impactful that I wouldn't be frightened of putting a higher figure on it. That's for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's all.
So thank you.
Very welcome. And one thing I will say from my personal experience that applies to everyone, the only limitation is right here. The thoughts you entertain, you will speak, and what you speak, you manifest. This is not cheesy. It's not woo. It's for real. The moment I change the story I've been telling myself, and the moment I change my relationship with money, that's when when things started to open up. Because I used to have a love and hate relationship with money, make a bunch of money, literally run out of money. And then you make money, and then you see your bank account going literally to your last $50. And then bam, like a yo-yo. It's not a good place. So that changed for me the moment I changed two things. One, the story I've been telling myself and my relationship with money. I've been listening to a lot of, there's affirmation, but there's something even more powerful called ask-formation, which is you ask questions. I'm asking, there's empowering questions, just why I'm unlucky, why nothing is working. Ask yourself, why I'm so lucky? Why is money coming to me from every direction and increasing amounts every day? Why are everybody smiling at me? Why is everybody returning my calls? Why are all these beautiful girls smiling at me? Whatever you want to achieve, ask yourself positive question to trick your mind. Even if you go on YouTube, there is videos for 8 hours. When you sleep, when you go to bed at night, play them, even though you will not hear them, but your subconscious will. Do it for 21 days. You're going to reprogram your own relationship with money. This is not woohoo. This is for real. This is one of the things that literally changed my life. So that goes to everyone in here listening. We're still having this issue with not believing. And I just want to say one thing, Debra. You mentioned to me that you attended another 5-day challenge. There was a guy in the UK who was cussing every 2 words and charging how much? £20,000? Tell us a bit.
Okay, so I got a sponsored Facebook ad through, and I went on and I registered to this guy purely for research, actually. And he's very brash. He does his videos from a green, big, flashy Porsche, and that's fine. So he's going out there and he's flashing his Rolex watch while he's doing the training. And basically, he's taken Bob Proctor, who is one of these transformational gurus in the States. He's done some training with him. And basically, he's regurgitating Bob Proctor's training and not passing it off on his own, but saying that he was a mentee of Bob Proctor and all of this. And then basically, he's done some training or read the book. And he's going through and saying he's manifesting more clients for people. He's manifesting this, right? And this is for coaches. And he goes out and he says, I only want you on this program if you are already having a profit, not a revenue, a profit of $10,000 equivalent a month. I only want you on here if you have that. And there were, whether it was made up or not, because he didn't get to see the audience, you got a long list of people that were on this program. And then what he then went on to do is basically take everything that Bob Proctor had done and regurgitate it. And he was a very rude person. He said, I'm getting some crap in the chat. That person's out the room. Da-di-da-di-da, this person's out the room. Okay. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he absolutely, on day 3 of the 5-day challenge, he went all out to sell his program. And he went in and he said, okay, this is as cheap as chips. You can get it for 25,000.
Nice.
Okay.
That's cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, straight in 25 grand. And when Jay did the images of the Tesla car, and then it went down to a guitar, and then it went to a designer raincoat, what he did was very interesting. He pitched it at 25, and then the next day he went down to 20 or just under, and the next day he went rock bottom price, 17,500.
What a deal.
I thought, what a steal at 17.5K. And basically he would speak to you for about, I think it was 4 weeks, once a week for half an hour. That was it. The rest of it was either done by his team or it was done online, and you just went through the course. And you know what? Whether or not he did this and he was putting people's names in, but people going, I'm in. And then what he did on Facebook is he got all of the pictures of the people, and he said, these people have now come on to the masterclass, etc. But this person from this place, this person from this place, this person. But what he did, it was very, very clever. He played this up to a level where everybody's expectation was that the price was going to be really high, but that the value was that, why wouldn't you? If you were getting $100 months, if you were getting 100,000 months, if you were getting 10,000 months, if you're getting 20,000 months, if you're getting 50,000 months, 100,000 months, and he's saying he can do this. And I just thought, you know what? This guy is getting people 17.5 grand every single day of the week, because he's doing this over and over again on a repeatable format. And he probably put a payment plan in place, but he's a very astute guy. It wasn't for me, but I could see how he would get people onto his program. And he wasn't even as good as this. He didn't even give as much value that you're giving on the free 5-day challenge.
Yes.
And it was just like, that was what he was trying to get through. So I would say to anybody, speak from our hearts, be authentic, not like this person who was a bit of a scam monger in my view. But the thing is, I used to sell in £4.5 million projects, plus my largest one was probably about 35 million, into C-suite executives, anything with a chief in front of it, of $1 billion US turnover companies. Now, that's really specific in that regard. So C-suite, $1 billion US companies, no e-commerce, just always people who were doing operational stuff. And I sold those over and over and over again. And there was £4.5 million. So when you think about it, we get a bit hung up on the lower amounts, but when you start to go into these really high-end figures, all of a sudden you think, well, yeah, it's a no-brainer. I used to think in like telephone number money. And it's just like, what we can command that. These guys that I was selling these projects in for were no different than anybody on this course. Yeah. £4.5 million per project. Okay, there'd be a few more people on board, but anybody that recognizes corporates is when you go in and you know what the value is. The process used to take, we used to do it on a 2-call structure, and people would be coming in for £4.5 million on 2 calls minimum. And that's when you think, when we get it down to us, we are sometimes our worst advocates. We think, why me? Why would people want to pay me? What value do I have? And because these guys went out there with the, I can do this project, they got the money. And it was just like, wow, they didn't give as much value as we would do, but they were the ones that asked for it, and they were the ones that got it. So that's what I share with you on that. Unbelievable. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Amazing insight. Yes. Wow. Can't wait to meet with you in person to tell me how you were able to sell those multi-million-dollar pound contracts and stuff, so I can learn from you. Thank you. Awesome. That's the next level. Putting the intention out to the universe. That's the next level. All right, let's move forward. So let's do some quick projecting and quick math here to really expand our mind, our horizon. And these numbers really pale in comparison to what you just mentioned. So let's say your current offer is currently £2,000, which is not really complicated to do because you're all incredibly talented, gifted human being that can come up with an offer that you can put at least a bare minimum price tag of £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, £5,000, especially once you build it around your zone of genius. So let's say you were able to do, as I mentioned a couple of slides ago, if you do one podcast episode a week, so for a month, then you should be able to get one client. So if your offer is £2,000, then that's an extra £24,000. Not too shabby, right? Now, if you were to do a one podcast episode a day, Monday to Friday, which is not very hard, let's take about, let's say, an hour a day. We all can dedicate an hour a day to making money. And your offer is you do one podcast episode a day, Monday to Friday, so 5 conversations, meaningful conversation with the exact ideal prospect. As long as your offer is on point, and as long as you bring the right people, you should be able to get one client a week at $2,000 a pop. That's an extra $104,000 a year. That is not a pipe dream. This is very realistic. This is really, really achievable once you have an offer that's on point and you invite the right people. So how would an extra 100,000, let's round it to £100,000 a year extra, change your business and your life? What kind of difference that can do to your life? Seriously. Absolutely. Yes. I like that. Yes. Yes. So again, now, as I mentioned earlier, the magic really happens once you do one podcast a day, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, because that is the easiest path for you to get one client a week organically without spending a dime, without spamming. Even if you have no audience, that's an extra £100,000. Seriously, podcasting is a game changer. It's a lifesaver. Just like for me, it's done, and for many other students. Debra can attest to that. That completely turned on the switch in her brain and allowed her to find a voice. Other people that you heard earlier, and my website is full of testimonials. It can really be transformational once you do it properly. So I just mentioned that. So how would your business and your life change with an endless supply of your exact ideal leads on demand? These are leads that are really qualified, quality, responsive, and ready to go. This is what I mean. And most importantly, how would having a proven, systematic system that's going to allow you to get leads anytime you want, consistently, reliably, organically for your business, that's going to be game changer. This has been for me. Now, as you guys know my story, some of the ways, I'm not going to repeat them, but just go through the highlights that completely not only changed and transformed, but even saved my life. Honestly, I don't think I would be here today physically if it wasn't for the podcast. When I was completely broke, depressed, lost, even suicidal. So for me, yes, I'm tremendously grateful for the financial blessing to be back on my feet in the best position I've ever been. But the greatest gift that blessed me with was that of killing my shyness, unlocking my true potential, and the process opening up the floodgates for me of blessings. 4-time #1 financial blessing author, amazing connections and friendships around the world. Now I just had my first TED Talk and so on and so forth. So this is for real, guys. This is for real. Now you have 2 options. You can either say, oh, this is cool, but it doesn't apply to me. I'm not ready. I'm not whatever excuse you can come up with. Or you can do something really transformational, life-changing. And you can say, ask yourself a powerful question, because questions are incredibly powerful. And you can ask yourself, how can I apply that into my business and life? How can I get my exact ideal leads on demand and clients organically, even if I have no audience to start with and not spamming? And that is by launching your own profitable podcast and YouTube channel. We invite your exact ideal listeners, prospect, and clients the way I'm teaching inside the Profitable Podcast Academy, which is much deeper than what I did here. So, as I said, I don't pitch, unlike other 5-day challenge where they start pitching from the day one. For me, it's all about content. And as I said, I don't pitch, I don't sell, but what I do is I invite. Here's my invitation for you, my special and exclusive invitation to join the next upcoming Profitable Podcast Academy, which is kicking off on Monday, October 16th for the next 4 weeks at 1 p.m. UK time. You're going to be working with me directly and other world-class experts such as Jay, Mischa, Mary, my publisher. She was supposed to be here, but right now she's traveling around Europe. She's going to be, and I'm going to invite her in the academy. So the gist of it is I work with a small group of people because just like I've been sharing with you since the beginning, build your business the way you wished existed when you were starting. Just like all of you guys, I've been in programs where I was student number 355 and a call there was 600 people. Good luck getting your award. And when you join, they told you, oh, welcome, here's your videos. You have 55 videos each 3 hours. Good luck. Yeah, you have a question, send a ticket. I'll get back to you before Christmas, 3055. So I'm the opposite. I keep my classes small, 5 to 10 students per class on purpose, because I'm not in the business of selling a bunch of memberships. I'm in the business of collecting success stories. I want to work with every single one of you guys one-on-one to ensure that you succeed. My goal is to keep my 100% success rate. So we have one live coaching call a week on Mondays at 1 p.m. UK time. And then we get another bonus call before the next week's live coaching call. That bonus call is as a Q&A to go over any question you may have about the previous week's content to review. We have a private Facebook group, Messenger. We have, because it's a small group, I'm available pretty much 24/7 for you guys to Messenger anytime of a question. We have a very active Facebook group. If something is really bugging you, say, can you please jump on a quick call? And I'd be happy to jump on a Zoom call with you guys, because you guys are my number one priority for the next 4 weeks once we start. And you will have also our experts, Jay, Mischa, Mary, and other people I had on the academy, and as a guest, they're inside the academy as well. So if I may, I would like to tell you about the structure of the academy and give you an overview of the academy. It's a 4-week program. Week 1, we're going to dive even deeper into what we covered this week, which is about the foundation, go even deeper into really identifying your zone of genius, your avatar, and all that good stuff. Week 2 is all about tech week. What kind of microphone, accessories, how to record, edit, upload, and all that good stuff. Week 3 is all about the launch. How do we ensure that we have a smashingly powerful, successful launch and get the right people on the podcast? And week 4 about money. How do we make money with a podcast? So let me go through the overview of each week. Week 1 is about foundation. Day 1 is about the clarity, the why, the who, and the what. Basically, even diving deeper into your zone of genius. Day 2, we're going to look at how to properly name your podcast, because there's many different ways to name it, and the name of your podcast is very important. Day 3 is going to be about the format. Should it be just you speaking, you interviewing people, or you and a co-host, and so on and so forth, as well as the length of your podcast. There's no random decision. Every detail of your podcast is a very key strategic decision. Day 4, we're going to look into the frequency. How often should you release your podcast? What platform? What type of content? And day 5, we're going to put it together, all of them, and then looking into how to get not only the right, but high quality guests on your podcast. Week 2, it's all about the tech. What kind of equipment? I'm going to share with you exactly what I've been using since I started. Day 2 is going to be the artwork. We're going to create the cover for your podcast, your thumbnails, your banners, and all of that good stuff. And we're going to be doing it through mastering Canva. And I will have a Canva expert come do a Canva talk for us. Day 3 is we're going to get really our hands dirty, so to speak. We're going to start recording our first episode. Day 4, we're going to be dissecting it, editing it, and uploading that video into our YouTube channel, as well as into our the audio dashboard. And then day 5, we're going to talk about the hosting, so different hosting options available, as well as submitting your podcast to the various platforms such as Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, and so on and so forth. So week 1, we took care of the foundation. Week 2, we took care of all of the tech side. And week 3, we're going to take care of, okay, now that we have that foundation and taking care of the tech, what do we need to do to ensure that we have a successful launch? So, wait, where is it? Why is it? Okay, so anyway, so day 1 is going to be, again, I'm going to be sharing with you a simple, why is it so? Anyways, I need to look at the numbers. Anyways, so day 1 is going to talk about, again, I'm going to share with you a simple but yet effective launch strategy. Day 2, I'm going to be sharing with you a very aggressive launch strategy. Day 3 is my favorite day of the week. Of week 3 is going to be leveraging the tremendous power of press releases and getting into the media. That alone can really put your name, your business, your podcast on the map. And we'll have a killer world-class PR expert come to and do a talk for us. Day 4, we're going to be talking about social media mastery and mastering Canva. Again, I'm going to have an expert coming to talk to you. And day 5, we're going to talk into what do we need to do to market and promote our podcast beyond the launch. So before the last class I did in August, my program was a 3-week program to help you launch a profitable podcast in 3 weeks. But then I had an aha moment that, hey, it's one thing to have a podcast so you can get leads on demand, but what people really want is to get clients, paying clients. And that's when I added an extra week, week 4, which I call Money Week. And in week 4, I'm going to show you how we can get your first paying client within 30 days of launching your podcast. And I'm going to show you a different approach to do that. Day 1, we're going to be looking at leveraging Facebook groups to get visibility and build your audience from scratch. And I'm going to have a killer expert talk from one of the people that is running one of the biggest Facebook groups in the world. He's going to come. He's a good friend of mine. He's going to come and do a talk. Day 2 is a very good and one of the most powerful days of the week. Is I'm going to be showing you how to build your winning program in as little as 30 days. And that's perfect whether you already have a program or if you have no program. I'm going to be showing you how the big boys, Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson, all those guys, Dean Graziosis, whenever they're launching a new program, how they're doing it themselves. And this is the same approach that I built my own program when I was starting way back in November of 2021. That's the exact same approach I used to build my program, and my program up to this date is still built using the same formula. Day 3, I'm going to be showing you how to get your first paying client in as little as 30 days by implementing the teaching of the first 2 days. Day 4, I'm going to be showing you what has been a true game changer for me, and that is for you to run your first profitable 5-day challenge. My business went from being a hobby to real business the moment I started running my 5-day challenge, just like the one you've been attending for the past week. I started doing this at the start of January. It completely changed my business because, again, 5-day challenges are the best way to get high-ticket clients. This is what all the big boys have been doing it, because over 5 days, it gives you an opportunity to really share your story, build trust, build rapport with your audience, so that at the end of the 5-week, when it's time for you to invite them and make them an offer to join your program, it's going to be a much, much easier decision for them to make because, again, they get to know you. And most importantly, they get to see you in action and build that trust with them. Because, again, remember what I said since the day 1, business, especially high-ticket offers, but one thing and one thing only, trust. And this is what running your own 5-day challenge is by far the easiest, fastest way to get high-ticket clients reliably, consistently, and regularly. And day 5, this is probably my favorite day of the week, is showing you how to leverage testimonials to start charging high-ticket offers and give yourself raises anytime you want. Because the more testimonials you get, the more you can charge higher. This is why when people, and this is something that Jay shared with him, his story, he was struggling for his first class. He was charging only $500. Then the next class, after that class, he did something that changed the trajectory of his family's life. He spent the next 30 days getting as many testimonials as he could. He was able to get 43 testimonials in the next 30 days. And after that, he was able to go from charging $500, $10,000. Because again, testimonials, people want 2 things, transformation and speed. And the best way to display that is through testimonials. So again, this is why I am a collector of testimonials. When people ask me, so what do you do, Payman? My answer is not, I'm a podcast. I'm not a publisher. I'm not an author. I'm not a speaker. I'm a collector. What do you collect? I collect success stories, testimonials. This is what I mean. Testimonials have changed my life. Testimonials are the reason why I've been able to transition from charging peanuts to charging real high-ticket prices. Because again, this is what people want. And day 5 is going to be all about that, how you can leverage testimonials to turbocharge your business and really start commanding the kind of raise that you know and deserve. So this is Academy that I'm inviting you, and I have a very special offer for you guys. If you go on my website right now, my program, and Jay has been, sorry for my language, being up my behind, telling me to, if I don't raise my price, he's going to kick me out. And even though I paid him $10,000, but I'm still trying to keep it reasonable because I want to make this as a no-brainer, as affordable for the people that really need it. So on my website right now, it's priced at 4,000 pounds. But for all of you guys have been, and it's going to go to 5,000 for the next class. But for those of you attending this class right now, I'm giving you a 1,000 pound scholarship. So if you take action and sign up for this class, which is starting on September 16, your tuition is only 3,000 pounds. And again, this is a limited time offer for only available for the people that are attending this challenge. If you go on my website, it's going to be priced at 4,000 pounds. So, and on the next class in October is going to bump to 5,000. And by then, hopefully, finally, Jay is going to give me a break because it's been up my behind telling me, hey, if you don't raise it, I'm going to kick you out of the program. So this is my offer again. I'm not pitching. I'm inviting, truthfully, sincerely, and from the heart. You've guys seen me, what I can do. You've seen the people, seen the transformation. And now I invite you guys to take this knowledge, take our connection to the next level so we can work together to build your profitable podcast, to really bring your zone of genius, your true gift to the world and build a very powerful, impactful, purposeful, and very profitable business for you guys. So if you're ready, I have the link here. I can share it with you guys. Ready to go to rock and roll? I'm here. If you have any questions, let me know. And I invite all of you guys to book a call with me. Connect with me if you're not connected. You are, all of you. Book a call. Let's brainstorm how we can implement that for you. So that's my offer. Again, I'm not pitching. I'm inviting you guys. If you have any questions, bring them on. I can't wait to help you. So bring on the question. Let me catch up with the chats. Thank you, brother. Quasi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that. All right. Thank you so much, Susie. Absolutely love that. So any question, guys? Do you guys see how powerful this is? Do you see the value of this? Any questions? Susie, go ahead, my friend.
Yes. Payman, this isn't a question. I just wanted to take the opportunity, is that what you've actually taught us on this 5 days is phenomenal. And what you've also taught us, though, is how to do the 5-day challenge in doing that. So you've given us more than even we knew we were going to get, because it's kind of like a double, triple thing. And so I just wanted to say just another huge thank you. I wish I could I've nothing left to sell of my mother's or jewelry or anything, but one day and I know the value of you, of just everything. So I hope I'm sure there will be people, and I know that it will be amazing. Debra, also, you have been a wonderful I was going to say sidekick. That's the wrong thing to Payman, but you've been a wonderful addition to what Payman offers, because your enthusiasm and your everything about it. Lastly, when you surround yourself with people like you've attracted, Payman and Debra, your whole life changes anyway. By being in amongst this joyful, warming, positive group, we're going to attract different people into our lives, and the tide is turning on that. And I want to thank you for that as well, because that being in a group which is so wonderful and beautiful and loving, to have that attraction coming into our lives individually when we say goodbye today, because it won't be goodbye forever, that also is another blessing. And I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
It's so lovely being on this course.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart, my soul. It means the world. I, in the process, get to know a wonderful human being, a friend. I was delighted to be on your podcast. Really get the good stuff out of me. You made me share things I had not shared anywhere, even some of my siblings. My siblings do not know some of those things. So So I don't know if I should say I hate you, I love you, but you know, I mix up both, you know. So thank you. You're amazing. You're a true natural. Listen, everything
Thank
happens for a reason and at the right time. So I'm here for you whenever you're ready to take the next step.
And
I'm here for you.
likewise, yes.
Absolutely. Let me know how else I can help you shine bright and you're currently shining. How I can help you win. That's why I'm here for. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
cheering
you.
for you.
And I would like to say as well, Payman and I are gifting scholarships to people who can give the joy of abundance and career trajectory through podcasting by being our valued introducers. And we can talk to anybody that feels that they'd love to take that route, because it's something which has happened in the past very successfully for people. And to share this gift as I am doing with the people that I care about, and all the people that I care about, it really is giving that gift to others and sharing that. So please don't think that if you're thinking, oh my goodness, it's okay, because we have the most amazing introducer program as well.
Lovely. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. We've been connected to some amazing people. And because I'm not gonna, you know, praise sing my praises, but once people have come to the challenge and seen the value of it, some people tell me this is better than most high-ticket courses they attended. I've had people telling me I can charge at least $2,000 just for the information on this, on the free challenge. But because for me, I don't want to hold anything. You know, I'm a very passionate guy. As you see, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I just give it all. Once I get into something, I go all in. I give everything. I don't hold anything. I'm not the kind of guy to say, oh, I give you a teaser. If you want more, pay me and I'll tell you. No, that's not me. And another thing I want to say, once you're a member of the Academy, you're a member for life. You can come and pop into any future classes at no extra cost. Other programs will ask you to pay extra to get the updates. For me, no. As I keep increasing my my knowledge and I share those freely with you guys, you can have access to the membership for life at no extra cost. And you're welcome to. And I still have students from the very first class in the US from December of 2021 that pop in either to say hi or even to get a refresher, because again, as my knowledge increases, I keep on sharing new stuff that back then I didn't know. So, and these people always come back, not only because they're having an amazing time, but also because they want to meet new people. Each class are new people coming. Again, the goal is in networking, the people you know. You never know who's going to show up and what kind of magic you can co-create together. So again, the point is, you're going to be a member for life. This by itself is worth at least, I don't know, maybe 100,000 pounds. Seriously. So this is, again, I can't wait to really help you guys really bring your gifts to the forefront so we can create. My motto when I started my podcast, even before I even wanted to start a business, was to inspire entrepreneurs to do good with their businesses so we can create a better world together, so we can change the frequency of the world to a more positive direction. And God knows that this is what we desperately need right now. So this is my ultimate purpose. Sure, we all need to make money, but let's do so in a meaningful way, purposeful way, in a way that we can all win. For me to win doesn't mean I have to screw you, that you have to lose. No, I win, you win, he wins, she wins, we all win together. Let's win together. The pie is big enough. And one of my keywords for this year and beyond is collaboration, partnerships. A powerful quote I saw the other day is, at the bottom, there's competition. At the top, there's collaboration. This is why me and Mischa, we're doing something similar, but I don't see him as a competition. I see him as a collaboration because he brings his personality, his story, his zone of genius. I bring mine, and together we can all benefit. So this is why collaboration is where it's at. I want all of us to collaborate. Who knows? I would love to get to know you guys better inside the Academy and see what kind of magic we can co-create, and even bring you guys as an expert for the next challenge, the next Academy, to come and share your zone of genius inside the Academy and get in the process. I would love to get for you guys to get new clients that way. So this is what I'm creating. I am creating actually, I've been creating an ecosystem of heart-centered, purpose-driven entrepreneurs from around the world that are building beautiful, impactful businesses. It's not just about the money. Sure, we all need to make money, but let's do so in a way that's meaningful, impactful, and purposeful. This is my reason of being. So this is my invitation, guys. Do you guys have any question, or if anyone is ready to rock and roll, let me know. I will share the link here. And actually, let me share the link here. Where is it? Let me stop sharing my screen. Get you the link here. Of course, whenever you're looking for something, I have so many tabs. I don't know, where is it? Here. Okay, where is it? Here, there is a. Thank you, brother. I'm honored. I would be honored to have you with us, Squeezy. I'm looking forward to talking to you. Book a call. I will share also my Calendly here for all of you guys who haven't done so. To answer your question, to help you. So I just shared 2 links, one for the calendar to book a time with me. I'd be happy to take calls, even though I don't take calls on the weekends. Let me know tomorrow or even on Sunday. I'd be happy to get on calls with you guys to answer any last minute questions you may have, to make it as easy as a no-brainer for you guys to take that step to really bring your zone of genius to the fore to your Unprofitable podcast. So any questions, guys? Noreen, any questions, my friend?
No, it all sounds so wonderful. Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Thank you.
Book a time with me. I would love to get on a one-on-one call with you. Even tomorrow, what day is it? Today's Friday. Saturday, Sunday, whatever. I'm in Asia, so I'm 6 hours ahead of you. Yes, I'm a time traveler. Wink, wink. And I'm happy to take calls up until 2 p.m. Heck, even what time is it now for you guys? It's 2 p.m. now?
3
p.m. It's 9 o'clock here. If you guys want, I'd be happy to get on a call with you guys to answer any last minute question you may have up until 3 p.m. UK time tomorrow or Sunday, because or next week. The Academy is starting on Monday, the 16th of September. No rush, but let's get on a call to answer your questions. I'll be happy to get on a call any day except on Thursday. Next week, I'm traveling. I'll be flying to Malaysia. So other than that, I'm available for a call anytime. So you have my Calendly. If you're ready to rock and roll, you have the link right there. Again, I'm not pitching, I'm inviting. And I would be honored to have you guys with me and Debra, on Monday the 16th, with all the other experts and all the alumni is going to come as well. It's an incredibly beautiful community. And let's create a better world together. Let's start with us, one entrepreneur at a time. So if any one of you is ready to rock and roll, you have the link, you know what to do. That's all I'm going to say. So if you have any more questions, I'm here. If you have no more questions, I'm here. I'm looking forward to chatting with you over the next few days. And sorry, quiz, go ahead, brother.
Sorry, I've got a question. I actually booked a
Okay.
call with you yesterday, but it's not showing up on any of my
Let me check.
platforms.
I see you, David.
I must admit, I was a little bit confused with the time. I don't know what time zone you were up.
I will
think
tell
I
you.
booked it at 9:30.
Yes, I have you, David, on Monday at 3:30 p.m. my time, which is 9:30.
Fine, I thought
time.
yeah.
Yes.
Which is what time?
9:30 UK time.
Yeah, in the morning.
On Monday.
Yeah.
And it's 3:30 p.m. my time. Yes.
Are we going to do that on WhatsApp?
No, Zoom. I'm going to send you a Zoom on WhatsApp.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
Just like I've been sending you the links. Absolutely. I will send you also very welcome, the replay of this call. Give me an hour or so. I'm going to go have dinner. I'm starting right now. I'll send that to you. If not tonight, early tomorrow morning before you wake up.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward. Absolutely. Honored. Thank you. Quasi, go ahead, brother.
Payman, You're amazing, bro. You already know you're amazing. I've known you for what, 5 days? We spoke once. We're going to speak again. Yeah, I just want to sing your praises to yourself and to everyone in the group that is here now and that's watching the replay. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for the value that I'm going to take with me, and I look forward to anyone else that'll be joining us in the academy. Success loves speed, and I'm very confident that this investment that I'm going to make in myself and my business will have an amazing impact on what I want to do in this world, what I will do in this world, brother. So
Absolutely.
we're going to talk on Monday, and I love it. Appreciate
And
you,
you know
bro.
what? I'm honored. I'm getting goosebumps. I will be flying back to Toronto on the 12th of October, right on time for the Canadian Thanksgiving and my birthday on the 17th of October.
Yes.
We're definitely going to
Yes.
connect, brother. I can't wait.
100%.
Over a nice
100%. Looking forward
cigar,
to it.
whiskey, and steak. We're going to have a good time. I wish you could join us, David, and all of you guys, you know. But we'll do it when I come to the UK. I've never been to UK yet. You know, I love football. And we're going to watch a few games together as well. Absolutely, David.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
you
I got to run.
Okay, great
Take
place.
care, everyone.
Absolutely.
Take
I
care,
cannot.
everyone.
Thank
Lots
you.
of
Thank you.
love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, Noreen. Booker time. Crazy Booker time. And Michael, you still here, brother? Booker time. And can't wait to talk to you to see how I can help you with this. Thank you, brother. Thank you, all of you guys. I'm buzzing. Be blessed. Have a fantabulous Friday and weekend, and talk to you very soon, guys. And welcome. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your business. Thank you all. Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you, guys. Take care. Cheers.